Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Everyday series. Today I am so excited to try out this NYX Pore Filler Primer. So I love the brand NYX, but it's definitely been a while since I've tried out many products from NYX, but I recently placed an order at Ulta during a beauty break, so I got some really great samples from NYX as part of that beauty break. And this was one of them, although you can actually buy this mini version on the Ulta website for $6. The full size version retails for $14. But I love trying out primers, especially pore filling primers, because I'm always talking about how I struggle with the large pores, mostly here on my cheeks and on my nose. So I love finding a smoothing, pore filling, and pore minimizing primer to really help me with that problem area. And this sounds like it should do exactly that. So it says that the NYX Professional Makeup Pore Filling Blurring Primer has vitamin E infused formula that helps to minimize the appearance of pores and prep your complexion for smooth makeup application. And that's really exactly what I'm looking for with this. But what's also great is that it's made without oil or talc, and it's a vegan formula, cruelty-free, and PETA, or do you say P-E-T-A? I think PETA certified. All right, so the way I want to really test this out is to just apply it to half of my face, and we'll also apply foundation on top of it to see how smoothing it really is. Whoa, that is different of a texture and color than what I was expecting. It kind of has a beige color to it, and it looks maybe like a balm texture. I did not expect it to be this texture. I thought it was going to squeeze out kind of like a lotion texture. Ooh, yes, very balm textured. It's almost like a dry balm, if that makes sense. But it feels very smooth on the skin, but also super lightweight and just kind of like dry. Like it's not putting moisture in the skin, but it's kind of smoothing and filling the skin. Very interesting. But overall, I would say it just is clear, even though it has that kind of beige color when you squeeze it out. I like the texture of this a lot. Definitely feels very smoothing, like it's creating a layer on top of the skin, which is what I want from my pore filling and smoothing primers. Taking a little bit more to really focus it on the nose. Okay, so now looking up close in my new Reiki mirror here. Oh, yes, it really does actually minimize and smooth the appearance of my pores. So here on my cheek, before I could definitely see texture, large pores. I can still see some pores, but it's like they have a filter on top of them, making them look smooth, smaller, especially compared to the other side of my face where I have not applied the primer. But that really is exactly like the best way for me to describe it, is like a little filter shield on top of the primers. So this definitely would be a great product to just take a little bit out, put it right on the focused area where you have large pores. If you're not wearing any foundation, doing a very natural look, just putting that on will kind of smooth over, minimize, and make it so that you don't even really notice the pores as much. So yay, that's exactly what I was hoping for. We're off to a really good start. With my kind of combination skin, I could definitely see myself using this, just focusing it where I have the large pores, because then places like my chin is where I get dry, and this definitely has, like I was saying, like a dry feel. It's not a hydrating, it's not a glowy primer, it's just really focused on creating a barrier, smoothing out the skin. So I do really like that effect all over my face, but I feel like I would need more of that hydrating primer on my chin. Maybe for like my forehead and my cheeks, I like more of a dewy, glowy primer, just because that's the type of skin look that I love. And so now I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation, and I'm using my new favorite foundation to test out with primers, the LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation, because this foundation will really give away how your skin looks underneath. So if you have some really nice, prepped, smoothed out skin, this foundation looks really great on top of it. And so I am just going ahead and applying the foundation to the side of my face without the primer first, so that I don't mix in any of the primer when applying the foundation. And the instructions for this primer said to let it sit on your face for a little bit before applying foundation, which is kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I'm gonna follow the directions. All right, so the foundation is applied to half of my face, and I really do love this foundation, but I can definitely see the texture of my large pores, mostly on the center of my cheek, but it just kind of gives away to texture wherever I have it. So now let's go ahead and apply the foundation to the side of my face with the primer. Even though it's not a tacky primer at all, I do feel like the makeup sits nicely and grips onto it perfectly fine. Okay, so my foundation is applied, and definitely both sides of the face, first impression, look exactly the same because the texture, like the glowiness, it's the same because the primer didn't really add anything like texture-wise, glow, anything like that to the foundation. So I would say they both look the same amount of kind of more like matte, I'd say, but still more like a maybe matte to natural finish. You can still see a little bit of glow to the skin, but overall pretty matte. But the pore texture is definitely looking smoother. It's not 100% the smoothest skin ever, but definitely an improvement to how my pores are naturally without the primer. It looks like there's less pores. They look like they are less deep. I am curious though, because the instructions also said you can use this underneath or on top of makeup, and I can't really say I've ever put my be careful with this because it just like exploded everywhere. Oh my goodness. But so, like I was saying, it says you can put it on top of your makeup. Now, I don't think I've ever put my primer on top of my foundation, but because this is a drier balm-like formula, I'm very curious how that would look. So I'm going to just go ahead and apply a little on top of the foundation. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work really because it removed the foundation. It's such a kind of dry, kind of balls up type of formula. Maybe I need to rub it in my fingers first and warm it up. Okay, let me fix where I just kind of rubbed off the foundation, because by rubbing it into the foundation, it just removed it. But let's see if I carefully squeeze out some and then warm it up and blend it out, like kind of rub it in with my fingers, and then I'll just tap it on top to see if that, it still is just moving the foundation. I'm gonna try on the side without the primer, see if that makes any difference. Yeah, it just creates texture and just basically removes the foundation, so that doesn't work for me, but that was an interesting idea. But so overall, I'm very happy with this primer. I also think it's a very reasonable price point for what it does, and I really do like how it's smoothed out and really minimized the appearance, just put that filter over the skin. I think it's definitely the most noticeable without the foundation. on top to really see the difference in the pores, because you could definitely get away with using this alone without any foundation, because it does make a nice difference. But then of course I also still like it under foundation to help smooth and just make my pores look less deep. And so I definitely am going to continue using this, focusing it right on those problem areas for me. Because like I was saying before, on my chin, I am still seeing some dryness, texture, so I just need a little bit more hydration in the primer that I put under my foundation on those areas. But for my cheeks, my nose, I'm very happy with the smoothing effect of this, especially on my nose. It made the foundation stick better on my nose, looks so much smoother compared to the side without it. Very impressed by that. So if you've tried out this NYX Pore Filler Primer, definitely let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. If you have any tips for using it, like if you somehow do apply it on top of your makeup, I would love to hear your tips in the comments down below as well. But thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.